Okay, so guys, when we talk about your human nutrition, okay, so before we talk about that human nutrition, let's try to get into the basics of like how energy is going to be provided to the body. Now, remember, see, to do any kind of work, okay, to do any kind of work in our body, we are going to require energy. Okay, but this energy, it is going to be provided to the body in two different processes. Now, what are the two different processes, guys? So the first process, which is going to make like all the raw materials available, that process is going to be nutrition. So the energy is going to be provided by the first process, that is nutrition. And second, what happens is, by nutrition you are going to get all the raw materials, that is you're going to get your glucose out of it, and that glucose is now going to be used in respiration for giving you the actual energy, that is your ATP. So guys, in our body, when we talk about the energy producing uh, processes, just a moment. So human nutrition. Okay, so basically when we talk about, once again, your energy, this is given by two processes. Okay, one, it is going to be your nutrition. And when I talk about nutrition, guys, once again, nutrition, what is this going to do? The basic job is to provide all the raw materials to the body. Okay, so it is going to give you your amino acids, it is going to give you your fatty acids and glycerol, it is going to give you glucose, fructose, galactose. All these things is going to be given by nutrition. Okay. But now the second thing, okay, now what I told you was like these raw materials, whatever that are there, these raw materials are going to be used in the second process. The second process is going to be respiration. And by respiration, guys, we are going to produce energy. But guys, can anybody quickly tell me this energy is going to be in the form of what, guys? Quickly, quickly, quickly. It is going to be in the form of, very nice, Kanaka. Very nice, yeah. Very nice, Zui. Yes, it is going to be in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Now, guys, always remember, sometimes in your exams, they ask you energy currency of a dinosaur, energy currency of a bat, energy currency of earthworm, energy currency of your amoeba. Guys, no matter whoever the organism is, the energy currency is going to remain your ATP only. There is no other way. Okay, so always keep that in mind. Okay, so this energy, this is going to be produced in the form of your ATP. Guys, if we have to write down the reaction for this thing, okay, so let me just put down the respiration reaction. So how is it going to be? So guys, we are going to have C6. This is aerobic respiration I'm showing. Okay, we have two types of respiration, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. So C6 H12O6 plus 6O2. Okay, this in the presence of a respiratory enzymes, this is now going to be converted into 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus 38 ATPs of energy. Okay, so guys, this is how this entire respiration reaction is going to work like. Okay, and what are we producing, guys? We are producing your 38 ATPs. This is going to be the most important thing. Okay, so now this is going to be your aerobic respiration. But guys, we have, just like aerobic respiration, we have anaerobic respiration also, where we are not going to make use of any oxygen out over here. So in that case, what are we going to see? So we have C6H12O6. This directly in the presence of your respiratory enzyme is going to be converted into 2C2H5OH plus 2CO2 plus 2 ATP. Okay, this is in the case of your yeast. So what are we producing, guys? In the case of your yeast, we are producing your ethanol, that is your alcohol. Okay, and that is for all your fermentation processes, we are going to go for this yeast. Okay, but now, just like the yeast, you have your lactic acid bacteria as well, the lactobacilli. Okay, in your lactic acid bacteria, or even in your muscles, okay, for some moment, you are going to see another reaction that is going to take place. It is also your anaerobic respiration only, but then in that case, instead of getting your alcohol, guys, what are we going to get? We are going to get lactic acid. Okay, so you are going to get 2 times lactic acid plus 2 ATP. Only this much, guys. Okay, so these are the different kinds of your respiration reactions. So this is the first one. This is going to be aerobic, whereas these two, they are going to be anaerobic. But no matter what, guys, no matter what, at the end of the day, why are we going to go for respiration? Because respiration is going to provide us with huge amounts of your ATPs. Okay, so 38 ATPs in aerobic respiration and 2 ATPs in your anaerobic respiration. Maybe whatever you go for. All right with this. So guys, this is respiration. But now let's try to focus our attention once again onto your nutrition. So we just said that, oh, nutrition is the one who's going to provide you with all the raw materials. Okay, so let's try to understand what are these raw materials and how are they going to be obtained. So basically, when we talk about nutrition, guys, nutrition is a huge term. It is a huge term and it contains all the other processes like. So basically, when I define nutrition, nutrition is nothing but it is a sum total. It is a sum total of all processes. It is a sum total of all processes like one, your first thing, ingestion. Now, what is ingestion, guys? Ingestion is the act of putting something into your mouth and start biting it. That is called as ingestion. Now, after ingestion, guys, as the food goes from the mouth into the stomach and the intestines, then it is going to be the next thing that is digestion. So that is breakdown of your food. But then after digestion, guys, whatever we have produced through digestion, it needs to be absorbed and transported to the body. So the third process that you're going to see is you are going to have absorption. Okay, now once everything has been absorbed, guys, now it is going to move through your blood, and through your blood, it is now going to reach all the body parts and all the body cells. Now, these cells should be able to get it out from the blood and utilize it inside their bodies. Right? So now the next process that we are going to have is assimilation. That utilization is assimilation. And finally after this, guys, whatever the leftover food that is there, okay, which is of no use to the body, that needs to be thrown out from the body. And that last process, this is called as egestion. Okay, so guys, see, what is your nutrition? Nutrition is nothing but it is a sum total of all processes like ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and your egestion. But guys, my question to you, okay, so let me go to Dia. Okay, Dia, can you tell me, like, what is this, removal of your fecal matter called? Like, what is the term that we generally use for it? Yes, Dia says it is excretion. Okay, fantastic. Okay, let me just go to another person out over here. So let me go to Ankita. Ankita, what do you think? Is it called excretion? Is it the same thing? Or do you call it something else? Ankita Chaudhary. Ankita, are you there with us? Ankita, quickly reply. Quickly reply, or else I'll have to remove you then. Chala, Ankita is. Ankita, are you there? Quickly answer. Okay, next thing goes to Arshia. Arshia, what do you think? Arshia, what is removal of fecal matter called from your body? What is it called? Okay, so Arshia also says it is called as excretion. Okay, but now let me go to Ruvi. Ruvi, what about you? And last one, I will go to Tanisha. Then we'll once again put some light onto this thing. Okay, so guys, everybody out over here is saying that yes, it is called as excretion. But is it right? No. Guys, yes, Kanaka is right. Zui is right. Actually, guys, here remember, when we use the term excretion, excretion is used for removal of nitrogenous waste. And what are the nitrogenous waste, guys? It is going to be urea, uric acid, creatinine, ammonia, others. And where are you going to remove it and how are you going to remove it? You are going to remove it in the form of urine. So guys, remember, when you are urinating, at that time you are excreting. Okay, excretion is not removal of fecal matter. Keep this thing in mind. Removal of fecal matter is called as defecation. Okay, remember guys, okay, very very important thing, because this is a general misconception that you have been taught throughout your entire childhood, guys. Okay, so what is egestion? Egestion is nothing but this is a removal of fecal matter. Okay, and this thing, we call this thing as defecation. Okay, so guys, keep this thing in mind. Okay, this is not excretion. If you want, I will put this thing in bracket. Excretion is removal of urine or nitrogenous waste. Okay, so guys, first get this thing like absolutely properly. Okay, now guys, okay, so respiration, so we are fine. Okay, and we have a separate chapter for respiration also, so we are not going to go into the details of this thing for the time being. Okay, but now we have to learn everything about what is this entire digestion process, how is this going to happen, what is going to be happening out over here. So let's try to see a few terms from over here, guys. So the first thing is ingestion. What is ingestion? Ingestion is nothing but whenever you take food and you're going to put it into your mouth and you start biting it, chewing it down, breaking it into smaller pieces so that it can be gulped down. That is ingestion. But then the second term is digestion. So, guys, once again, when we talk about digestion, what is digestion? Let's try to figure this thing out. Okay. So, guys, digestion is the process basically. Okay, this is the process in which you are going to say that larger molecules, they are going to be broken down into smaller molecules, and then these are going to be converted into so small molecules that they are going to be the basic units of your foodstuffs, so that now they can be directly absorbed into the blood and from the blood into your cells. That is digestion. So what is digestion? Let's try to see. This is nothing the process in which, okay, the process in which complex complex non-absorbable non-absorbable and non-diffusible substances. Okay, complex non-absorbable and non-diffusible substances, these are going to be converted into, okay, non-absorbable, non-diffusible and complex substances, these are converted into your simple absorbable and diffusible substances. But now, guys, is this entire thing going to happen on its own? Like, this digestion process, we are saying, okay, is that going to happen on its own? Like, the food goes into your intestine, it goes into your digestive system, and then immediately it is going to be broken down into smaller pieces on its own. Does it happen that way? No. Guys, this entire conversion from your complex to simple, non-absorbable to absorbable, and non-diffusible to diffusible, guys, this is going to take place with the help of enzymes. So at every stage, you are going to have some specific enzymes who are going to be acting as biocatalysts, and they are the ones who are going to bring about this entire conversion. So this is going to be done with the help of enzymes. Okay, with the help of enzymes. But now, guys, the question arises, what are these enzymes? So I just told you that these enzymes, they are going to be biocatalysts, right? So first thing is, my question goes to Tanishka. Tanishka, you have to unmute yourself. Okay. And Tanishka, tell me, do you know what is a biocatalyst? Do you know what is a catalyst first? Then we'll talk about biocatalyst. Tanishka, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Ah, yes. Do you know what is a catalyst by any chance?
Sir, it increases rate of
Absolutely right. It is the one who is going to
enzyme.
increase the rate of reaction. Okay, so it is the one who increases the rate of reaction, but it does not participate in the reaction. So he's just going to be an observer, but he speeds up the reaction. That is going to be your catalyst. So guys, these enzymes, they are going to be acting like your biocatalyst. Now why biocatalyst? Because they are going to be governing your biological reactions. That is why biocatalyst. So guys, if I have to tell you, like, if I have to give you an example of an enzyme, let's try to see how I can, put it across. So let's imagine I am that enzyme. Okay, let's say I am an enzyme basically. So whenever there is any reaction which is going to take place, so what I will do is, maybe it will speed up the breakdown of that process, okay, or speed up the breakdown, or maybe whatever that is happening with that reaction. But at that time, I will not be utilized, meaning I will not be depleted, meaning I can be used again and again, again and again, again and again, to catalyze multiple reactions. So for example, let's try to see. Okay, so guys, let's imagine, like, we have Kanaka out over here. Okay, let's imagine Kanaka, she's a very nice kid. Okay, so I have taught her for the last so many years. Okay, but now let's imagine, okay, I want to put some fire between her and her parents. Okay, just imagine. So what I do is, I give a call to her parents, and suddenly I'm like, Kanaka is not studying these days. Kanaka is not paying attention. Her performance is not good. She doesn't come on time to the classes. She doesn't pay attention. She is not attentive. She does not respond. She's lost in her own world. Guys, just imagine, if I give a call to her parents that way, what is going to happen? Immediately, her parents are going to be excited. They are going to be like, Kanaka, what is wrong with you? We are paying so much. We are paying your fees. You are doing this. You are doing that. Okay. And you are not able to study. You are not able to do one job that has been assigned to you. Right? Suddenly, what is going to happen? Their energy is going to increase. Now, this Kanaka is like, no, sir is not, he is not telling the truth. He is lying. But what do you think? Her parents, are they going to believe her, or are they going to believe me? Definitely, they are going to believe me. Right? And now what happens is, both of them, they start fighting. Kanaka is like, no, ऐसा होता ही नहीं है, ऐसा है ही नहीं, ऐसे नहीं है, सब झूठ बोल रहे हैं. And now, and her parents are like angry because I am complaining. Now what happens? Both of them, they start fighting with one another. And after some time, what happens? Then both of them, they try to cool down. In the meanwhile, what do I do? Then I'll be like, बघा, हे असंच करते, हे असंच खोटं बोलते बघा, अजून खोटं, अजून तिला हे नाही, लाज नाही वाटत आहे. And I am going to instigate them again and again, again and again. And guys, you know what? In the meanwhile, what will I do? I will just take a bowl of popcorn, and I will just keep on having popcorn and look at them having fight, right? And that is what is going to happen, guys. So when we talk about this entire situation, who is an enzyme? I am that enzyme, guys. I am that enzyme, because what I can do, I can accelerate the rate of reaction between her and her parents, so that both of them, they start fighting with one another. And in this process, guys, am I going to be affected by any means? No, I'm not going to be affected by any means, because it has nothing to do with me. Kanaka has to stay with her parents. So I am not going to be affected, but their reaction is going to be affected. It is going to be like really, really excited. Fine. Now let's say Kanaka is done. Okay. After that, guys, I can do the same thing with Dia Patel also, right? Because I am teaching Dia Patel. So I can do the same thing. I can call up her parents and I can say this, blah, 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 blah. And immediately her parents are going to be activated. They are going to be angry. Dia is going to be angry. Both of them, they start fighting with one another. I can just take a bucket of popcorn and I can start having it, just looking at them. Guys, Once Dia is done, now I can move to Ruby as well. And same thing I can continue with all the kids who are there in Vakadis, right? But tomorrow, guys, can I just stand on the bus stop and whoever kid I see out over there, can I do the same thing with that kid? No. So guys, always remember, whenever we talk about enzymes, enzymes are very, very specific. Okay, so I will work only and only on Wakade students. I cannot work on some random classes students or some random students on the bus stop or random students on the road. If I do the same thing on the road, guys, they will be, oh, kaka pagla gaye ho ka? Again, that is how it is going to happen. So guys, remember, enzymes are going to be very, very specific. They are going to catalyze only particular reactions, and for every reaction you are going to have a different enzyme. This is what we need to know about enzymes. Is everybody okay with this? What is your biocatalyst and what are your enzymes? Okay, sure, everybody. Okay. Chalo. But now, guys, the next thing. Okay. So we talked about, like, okay, chalo. So after that, we said we have absorption. What is absorption? It is the process of absorbing all the raw materials from the digestive system into the blood. And through the blood, it is going to travel to all the parts of the body. But now, after this, we said it is going to be assimilation. So, what is assimilation, guys? See, whatever raw materials that are like traveling through your blood, they need to be absorbed by the cells. And once they are absorbed by the cells should do something about it, right? So, what are the cells going to do? The cells are going to show you assimilation. And by assimilation, guys, what is going to happen? The cells, they are going to synthesize new protoplasm. Okay, the cells synthesize protoplasm with the utilization of simple substances. Okay, with the utilization of your simpler substances, that is your raw materials. Okay, but now I am using the term protoplasm out over here, right? My question goes to Vaishnavi. Vaishnavi, do you remember what is this, protoplasm? Do you have any idea about this? What is protoplasm? Vaishnavi, go on, I can hear you.
Content of the cell.
It is going to be contents of the cell. Okay, in a way, you are right. Anybody else wishes to answer this question? Protoplasm. Anybody else? Anybody else? Yes, everything
Hello,
inside.
sir.
Yes, yes, go on, go on.
Protoplasm is consists of cytoplasm, the nucleus, and the cell organelles.
Absolutely right. Very nice. So whatever Kanaka has said is actually right. But guys, let's try to put this thing. Okay, so some of you may not be aware of this thing. Guys, whenever we talk about protoplasm, generally, you know what? We always like, we say that, it is going to be synonymous with your cytoplasm. The answer is no. There is a difference between protoplasm and cytoplasm. How is it? Let's try to see. So guys, let's imagine this is your living cell. Okay, this is your cell, guys. Okay, now when we talk about this cell, let me just put this thing down in three different ways. Okay, okay, so now this is your cell membrane. Whatever we have shown, guys, this is going to be your cell membrane. Now everything that is present inside the cell membrane and that is living, everything inside the cell membrane that is living, that is called as your protoplasm. Okay, and this has to be living. Okay, guys, so this is known as protoplasm. But now, guys, we know for sure that inside this protoplasm we always draw your nucleus, right? So in the next case, let me just draw your nucleus. So this is our nucleus. Guys, now the moment I draw this nucleus, the remaining part, whatever this thing is out over there, this is nothing but it is going to be your cytoplasm. So guys, what is cytoplasm? Cytoplasm is protoplasm minus your nucleus. Okay, so everything inside the cell excluding the nucleus, that is your cytoplasm. But now guys, inside this cytoplasm, basically we can also show your cell organelles. So let's try to see. So once again, let me draw the nucleus out over here. So this is our nucleus, and now let's imagine we are going to have our cell organelles. Okay, so we are going to have our cell organelles out over here. So guys, now let's try to see. So guys, this is nothing but cytoplasm only, but in the cytoplasm I am now going to show you your cell organelles. Okay, but now if I'm going to show you cell organelles, guys, what is the remaining liquid part that is present besides it? So this liquid part, see, earlier we had just talked about it as cytoplasm, but now because we say that cytoplasm is further divided into this cell organelle and liquid part, the liquid part is called as cytosol. Okay, the liquid part is known as your cytosol. So guys, let's try to see this thing. Okay, so guys, can I say, okay, that protoplasm, okay, now just please pay attention out over here, can I say protoplasm is equal to nucleus plus cytoplasm, right? So yes, this is going to be nucleus plus cytoplasm. Okay, but now, but guys, what is cytoplasm? Cytoplasm, we have right now said that it is cell organelles plus cytoplasm, right? But cytoplasm is equal to cell organelles plus cytosol, right? Now you just take this value, guys, and this value you are going to substitute in the first thing. So therefore, what is your protoplasm? So protoplasm is nothing but this is going to be a combination of your nucleus plus cytoplasm. But now cytoplasm, we are going to resubstitute it with this. So nucleus plus cell organelles plus your cytosol. Okay, everybody okay with this thing, guys? Understood this part properly? Fine. Okay. So guys, always remember this in your NEET exams. They always tend to ask you what is your protoplasm, what is your cytosol. You need to remember all these three terms, okay, properly. Okay, everybody all right with this? Fine. Just have a look. If everybody is okay, then we'll move ahead with the next part. Guys, Kanaka, just try to unmute yourself. Can you unmute and talk? Just see.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Huh. Actually, I have switched on the option for everybody, yeah, so that you can if you wish to have anything to ask or any doubts or something, you can just unmute yourself. Okay, there was this option which I have switched it on. Earlier, you could not switch on the mic. No, now I've tried to toggle with that thing. Okay. Anyways, chalo. So guys, let's try to move ahead from here. Okay, so now guys, we are going to go into your digestive system and we need to know what is your digestive system, how is it going to be like, what are the different parts out over there. Okay, so let's try to see. So guys, when we talk about your digestive system is going to be made up of two important parts. Okay, so what are these two parts, guys? Okay, so when we talk about digestive system, the first part is going to be your alimentary canal. Now guys, I'm going to write two spellings out over here. Okay, you have to select which is the right one. Okay, and then I will tell you who is which. Okay, so first thing, we are going to have alimentary canal, and the second one we are going to have our digestive glands. Okay, so my question goes to Dia. Dia, what do you think? Out of these two spellings, which of them is going to be right? Is the first one right or is the second one right?
The first one.
The first one, right. Guys, both these terms, they actually mean elementary only. But this first one is element. I'll talk about this thing. But first, let's try to see what is this element. This elementary means this is primitive. Okay, guys, you must have had those drawing competition, drawing exams, elementary and intermediate. Elementary means very, very basic. So, guys, we are not talking about this thing at all. Okay, we are not talking about elementary, we are talking about elementary. Now, what do we mean by element? Element, guys, this means to nourish. In Greek, this means to nourish. And yes, we are going to have a tube or a canal in our body which is going to provide food to your body, right? And that is why this is going to be your elementary canal. But now, guys, where does this elementary canal start? Where does this end? So, guys, the elementary canal, it starts from the mouth and it ends with the anus. Starts from the mouth to the anus. And, guys, how long is this thing going to be? Okay. So, my question goes to Ankita. Ankita, what do you think? How long should your elementary canal be? Guys, now understand your height. Okay. If we calculate in meters, okay, it will be at the max 1 3/4 of a meter. Okay. It is not going to be more than that. Okay. 1 meter is huge. Okay. So your height is going to be roughly at the max 1 3/4 of a meter. If you're like 6 feet, 6 feet and a little above, then you're going to be 2 meters. So what do you think, Ankita? Okay, how long should your elementary canal be? It is going to start from the mouth and it is going to end in the anus. Yes, Vaishnavi is saying it is going to be 2 meters. Okay, now Vaishnavi is saying no, it is going to be 1 meter. Okay, fine. Zui is saying 8 meters. Ruby is saying 9 meters. Ankita, are you there with us? Ankita? Ankita, please respond quickly.
Yes,
Yes. So, how long do you think is your elementary canal? Darshanita?
Yes, sir.
Yes. How long do you think it is?
Sir, very long,
Ah,
maybe
very long.
7 or like that
Maybe
meters.
7 meters. Okay,
Yes,
fantastic.
sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, guys, Dia is saying it is going to be 9 meters now. Okay, so yes, the answer is actually 9 meters. Guys, now your entire elementary canal is going to be 9 meters. 9 meters means what, guys? It is almost going to be, your ground floor and first floor. That much height. 9 meters. Oh, but how is this 9 meters worth of rope like structure embedded inside your body? Guys, your entire intestine or this entire elementary canal, guys, in the abdominal region, it is going to be coiled and coiled and coiled and coiled and coiled and coiled and coiled, guys, like this. And this is how it is going to be adjusted inside your body. Guys, it is very, very long. 9 meters in length, almost up to the first floor height. Okay, so keep this thing in mind. Okay, but now let's try to move on to the digestive gland. See, when we talk about your digestion, guys, what did I tell you? Is digestion going to happen on its own? No, it is not going to happen on its own. It is going to require some enzymes. But then, who is the one who is going to produce those enzymes? Who is going to supply those enzymes? That job is done by your digestive glands. So, guys, when we talk about digestive glands, who are the ones who are going to assist in digestion? They are going to be first one, the salivary glands. Okay, so we are going to have salivary glands. But, guys, where are these salivary glands going to be present? Let's try to see this. Okay, so let's say this is your face, something of this sort. So you are going to have three pairs of salivary glands. So where? So the first pair, see, I'm saying three pairs, meaning one on the right side, one on the left side. Guys, this is the first one, which we call it as the parotid gland. Okay, it is just in front of your ear, below and a little in front of the ear. Okay, then we have the one which is going to be at the base of the jaw. That is going to be your submandibular. And the third one, it is going to be at the base of the tongue, which is called as your sublingual gland. So like this, there are going to be these three salivary glands, three on the right hand side, three on the left hand side. So three pairs. Okay, now after your salivary glands, guys, the second thing that we are going to have, we are going to see our liver. So you will have the liver something like this. The liver is going to produce your bile, okay, and along with that, it is going to give you your sodium bicarbonate, okay, and then bile salts, bile pigments, okay. So that is the job done by liver, okay. And the third thing, guys, out over here, we are going to have one of the most important ones. Those are our pancreas. Right? So pancreas generally, let's say when we have our stomach like this, so let's imagine we have the stomach, and the stomach is going to give rise to the first part of your small intestine like this, okay, which is nothing but your duodenum. And in between the stomach and the duodenum, guys, you are going to see a leaf like structure, and this leaf like structure is nothing but your pancreas. Okay, everybody all right with this thing? So these are going to be our digestive glands. Okay, but now the next thing, guys, we have to see your entire alimentary canal and whatever that is going to be present right from the mouth to the anus. Okay, chalo. So let's try to start, guys, and let's try to see how is this entire alimentary canal going to be like. Okay, so let's imagine, guys, we are having a person who is facing sideways and he is like this. Okay, I'm just going to draw the face, the rest of the body is not really necessary. Okay, so guys, let's try to start. Now we are starting with your alimentary canal. Okay, so we have to start right from the starting point. So if you look at the starting point of the alimentary canal, guys, that is going to be your mouth. But mouth, see, the mouth is going to be covered by these two things out over here. Now, what are these two things called, guys? These two things, they are nothing but our lips. Okay. Now, my question goes to Rishik. Rishik, quickly tell me, out of the two lips, which one of them is movable? Quickly, quickly, quickly. Others can also try. Quickly, quickly, guys. Which is movable? Hello? None. Acha. None. One Rishik is saying none and Zui is saying both. What about the others? Vaishnavi is saying lower. Okay. Tanishka is saying both of them. Kanaka is also saying both. Arshia is lower. Tanishka is lower. Okay. Guys, remember, both the lips are movable. Just see, like, while you are speaking, you are moving both the lips. Okay. It is not that only one of them is movable. Keep this thing in mind. This is sometimes there is this misconception that the upper lip cannot be moved. No, both the lips are equally movable. Okay, but now, guys, let's imagine you are like opening up your lips, and now inside, what are you going to see inside, guys? Inside, now you are going to see your teeth. Okay, so let's say these are your teeth present out over here. Okay, so we have the lips. After your lips, we have your teeth. But now, if you look behind the teeth, guys, what are you going to see? You are going to see a nice fleshy thing, a nice fleshy muscle. What is that muscle, guys? That is nothing but your tongue. Remember, tongue is one of the strongest muscles. Why? Because even if it does not have a bone, still you are capable of moving it, like, moving it up and down, left and right, even rolling it, making different kinds of shapes with your tongue. So this is one of the strongest muscle. But now, guys, where is all this thing going to be present? All of this, guys, this is going to be present in a cavity out over here, right? Now, what is this cavity called, guys? This cavity, whatever we are showing right now, this is known as the buccal cavity, or we also call this thing as the oral cavity, or we call this thing as our mouth. Okay, so this becomes our mouth, or you can call this thing as the buccal cavity, or we also call this thing as your oral cavity. Okay, so whatever you like to call it, you can call this thing. Okay, fine. But now, guys, what I want is I want you to take in some air, okay, through your nose. Okay, just take in some air lightly through your nose, and don't, put it into your lungs. I want to put it into your mouth. Okay, so if you just take some air and don't breathe it into the lungs, you will see that the air is going to fall on the backside of the tongue. Just try. Just try if you're getting this thing. It will fall on the backside of the tongue and then it will come into your mouth. Yes, is it happening, guys? Yes, right? Okay, so what does this mean, guys? It means that your nose and your mouth, they are going to be connected. Yes, it is connected, and that is why we guys have ENT specialists, ear, nose, throat. Guys, because eyes, ears, nose, and throat, all of them, they are going to be like interconnected with one another. Okay, so now let's try to see how is that air going to fall into your mouth? Like, what is really happening out over there? So, guys, first thing, when we look at the upper portion, okay, here, first thing, what is this, guys? This is nothing but this is our nose. But now, guys, inside the nose, we are going to see that there are these two holes kind of thing. You can take your finger and you can poke it inside. And if you poke it inside, guys, and when you remove it, it is going to be all slimy, 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 full completely of mucus. Right? Now, what is this, guys? These are nothing but they are going to be your nostrils. So we have nose. After that, we are going to have nostrils. Now, guys, what happens? Now, these nostrils, they go a little onto the inner side, guys. Okay, inner side up to the nose. And now they are going to give rise to a chamber like this. This chamber, which is there inside, this is known as our nasal chamber. Okay, so this becomes our nasal chamber. But you know what, guys? Inside this nasal chamber, you are going to see that, oh, there is a nerve out over here. And what is this nerve? This nerve, this is your olfactory nerve. Very good, Rishik. Very nice. This is nothing but olfactory nerve. And guys, what is this nerve responsible for? This nerve is responsible for the sense of smell. Okay, chalo, fine. So now, guys, we have come at the back of the nasal chamber. But now, the nasal chamber and the mouth, guys, both of them, they are going to be interconnected with one another. So you are going to see that at the back side, there is going to be a small connection like this. Okay, but now what is this connection called? How is this going to be? So, guys, this entire tube like thing, which is going to be at the back, connecting the respiratory system with the digestive system, this is known as our pharynx region. This is known as our pharynx. And guys, always keep this in mind. Pharynx is the place where the respiratory system meets digestive system. Okay, just keep this thing in mind. Okay, but now, guys, we are in the pharynx region. From the pharynx region, as we come down slowly, slowly, slowly out over here, guys, this region, this region, this is known as glottis region. Okay, let me just spell it properly. Okay, this is known as glottis region. Okay, but now What is the importance of this glottis region, guys? From this glottis region, now you are going to see two tubes which are going to arise. So the first tube, guys, this is going to be on the front side. It is going to be like this. Okay, so let's say it is something of this sort. And the second tube, okay, you are going to see it something like this. Okay, once again, my question is now going to go for Vaishnavi. Vaishnavi, so see, there are two tubes which are going to arise from here. Now, one tube is going to be your food pipe, and one tube is going to be your windpipe. My question to Vaishnavi, quickly unmute yourself and answer, who is going to be on the front? It is going to be the food pipe, or is it going to be the windpipe? What do you think?
Sir, I think it would be
Mm-hmm.
the food pipe on the
Okay.
front.
Okay, fantastic. It is going to be food pipe. Ankita, what do you think? Ankita, guys, kindly be a little quick, huh? Be a little quick. Ankita, are you there with us? Yeah. Tell me quickly. What do you think? What is going to be on the front? Food pipe or windpipe? Okay. Chalo. Okay. Kanaka has answered. Rishik has answered. Ruvi has answered. Right. Okay. So Tanishka is also right. Guys, always remember. Okay. Always remember. Your normal tendency would be to say that, sir, food pipe is on the front. Answer is wrong. Instead, you are going to have the trachea or the windpipe in front. Why? Like, why do you have this misconception? The reason is, guys, all throughout your childhood times, they have always told you, oh, hey, see, when you are swallowing, there is this, the Adam's apple moving up and down, up and down. You think that Adam's apple is in the digestive system, right? No, Adam's apple is a part of your respiratory system, guys. Okay, so you think that, oh, whenever you swallow, you will think that, oh, the food is being swallowed and it is going down, okay, and it can be seen properly. Okay, that is your, what people have been telling you, and they have been misguiding you. Always remember, guys, the one on the front is going to be our trachea. Guys, you are no longer, or you're never going to call this thing as a windpipe, okay, because we have a proper name. That is your trachea. So on the front side, guys, okay, so this is our trachea. Okay, and on the back side, guys, this thing now, this is going to be a food pipe, and we call this thing as our esophagus. Okay, once again, guys, you're never going to call this thing as food pipe again. Okay, you're just going to call this thing as esophagus. Okay, but now, guys, see what happens is, whenever you have food, see, food is coming out over here like this, like this, like this. Now there are two possibilities. In fact, there are three possibilities. Food can go in the upward direction, into your nose. Food can go into your windpipe, and food can enter into your esophagus. Where should the food enter? The food should enter only and only into the esophagus. So what has the body done? Guys, at the time of swallowing, you will say that this entire opening, this is going to be blocked. Okay. Then, in order to prevent the food from entering into the trachea, guys, you are going to see a little flap-like structure out over here. This flap-like structure will close down only at the time of swallowing. So then you will see that the food will not enter into your food pipe, because when it is going to be closed, it will be like this. Okay, and now then there is only one place where the food can go, and that is nothing but your esophagus. Okay, so what is this flap like thing called, guys? What is this flap like thing present? This flap like thing which is present, we call this thing as, yes, very nice, Rishi, very nice, this is termed as epiglottis. This is termed as your epiglottis, and its only job is to prevent the food from entering into your trachea. But then, guys, you know what happens? Sometimes, okay, you are like so engrossed in talking, you're not, you are not into eating. What happens? Let's say you're having food, nom 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 nom, and you at the same time you are talking, blah 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 blah, nom 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 nom, blah 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 blah, nom 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 nom, blah 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 blah, nom 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 nom, blah 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 blah, nom 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 blah. Immediately you get that tuska. Now, why? Because see, guys, for speaking, this epiglottis needs to be open, but for swallowing, this epiglottis needs to be closed. Now, while you are swallowing and like while you're talking and having your food at the same time, guys, sometimes this epiglottis does not close properly, and if it doesn't close properly, then guys, food can enter into your trachea, and that is what exactly happens. Food lands up into the trachea, and immediately you are going to get that tuska kind of thing out over there. This is the importance of epiglottis. Okay with this thing, guys? Fine. But now let's try to move a little ahead. Okay, so now, guys, the next thing that we're going to see now, see, first we have trachea out over here, like we're just going to see only until this point because this is all a part of your respiratory system. Okay, so the first thing that you are going to see, guys, right out over here, you are going to see that here, as we move into the trachea, the first thing that you're going to notice is that there is this nice, pointed structure right at the start of your trachea. Now, what is this pointed structure kind of thing, like, the protruding thing out? Guys, where can you see this like best? In the case of your Shah Rukh Khan. Okay, you can see that this is like completely protruding out. Okay, so what is this? This is nothing but we call this thing as larynx, or we also call this thing as Adam's apple, or we also call this thing as your voice box. Okay, so any of the names you can give it to this one. But now the next thing that I want, guys, is, guys, I want you to take your fingers and rub across the trachea and just see whether it is smooth or whether it appears to be ribbed. What do you think, guys? Just see. Take your fingers and rub it across your trachea and just try to find out. Yes, it is going to be ribbed. Now, why, guys? Why is this thing going to be ribbed? Okay, so guys, first of all, these rib-like structures, yes, very nice, Ruby. These rib-like structures, what are these? These are nothing but C-shaped cartilages. Now, these C-shaped cartilages, guys, they are going to help the trachea remain distended. Okay, so these are, I'll just mention it once again out over here. These things, they are going to be C-shaped cartilages. Okay, C-shaped cartilages. They're going to keep the trachea completely distended. Always remember, if by any chance the trachea collapses, that means you are going to collapse and thwack, you are going to die. Okay, first of all, guys, just see if you are okay until this point. Just see if everybody is okay until this point. Then we are going to shift all our focus onto the esophagus. Okay, guys, what I'll do is I'll give you a 5-minute break. Anybody who wishes to go to the loo, have water, go and come quickly. Okay, we'll once again start in 5 minutes. Okay, chalo, let's move ahead, guys. Okay, so now let's try to see. Guys, is everybody back? Guys, reply, everyone. Yeah. Okay, chalo. So, okay, chalo. So let's try to see the next part, guys. Okay, so now after this, what are we going to do is, guys, see, we are going to just focus our attention on the esophagus. See, because trachea, we are not going to be concerned about the respiratory system. That we'll see it in your respiratory system. Okay, but now esophagus, guys, now what is going to happen to this esophagus? This esophagus from here, it is going to run down. Okay, so you are going to see that the esophagus is going to come down like this. Okay, and now as this esophagus comes down, guys, what we are going to see is this is going to pierce through the diaphragm. So here you are going to see that there is this diaphragm which is going to separate the thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity. So it pierces through the diaphragm and it is going to go down. Okay, but now as it pierces through the diaphragm, guys, what happens? It is now going to give rise to our stomach. So you are going to see the stomach something like this. Okay, fine. So this has given rise to the stomach. Okay, but now, guys, this stomach, ultimately, what is this going to do? The stomach is now going to give rise to your small intestine. So slowly, this is going to turn into your small intestine. Fine, but okay. But now, what exactly is going to happen? Let us just try to figure this thing out. Okay, so guys, when we talk about your small intestine itself is further divided into your three more parts. Okay, so like I said, the first part, guys, this is going to be the first small U-shaped region. Okay, it is going to be the small U-shaped region out over here. Now, what is this U-shaped region? This is nothing but this is going to be our duodenum. This is our duodenum. Okay, but now after your duodenum, guys, now we are going to see that we have another little large region. Okay, now what is this little large region that we have? This is nothing but we call this thing as jejunum. Now I'm going to tell you why are these names out over there. Okay, just give me a moment. But okay, so first we have duodenum, then we are going to have your jejunum, and after your jejunum, guys, now we are going to have your ileum. And this ileum, guys, this is going to be the longest part of your small intestine. Okay, now I am just drawing the small intestine in a straight manner, guys, but remember it is not straight, it is going to be highly coiled structure. This is only for your understanding purposes. Okay, so let's imagine, okay, it is going to be this way. So we have duodenum, we have jejunum, and we have your ileum. All the three together, what are they going to give us? They are going to give us our small intestine. Now, guys, when we talk about the small intestine, the length of the small intestine itself is going to be roughly around 7 meters. Okay, that is 7 meters. Okay, now, guys, now what happens? Let's try to see. So, after we have got this small intestine, okay, and once again, remember, guys, first part it is your duodenum, second part jejunum, third part is ileum. Okay, now why do we call this thing as your duodenum? Duodenum means 12 finger breadths in length, meaning you take your 12 fingers like this and place one after the other, then the length that will come up is going to be your duodenum. Okay, so that is why duodenum. Jejunum, we call jejunum because jejunum in Greek means empty. So what used to happen was, guys, at the time of your post-mortem, when they used to open up this thing, like when they used to open up the dead bodies and all, then they used to see, they used to always find the second region of your small intestine to be empty, always. And that is why they said, oh, this seems to be empty, so we'll call this thing as jejunum. As in Greek, jejunum means empty. And finally, after that, we are going to have these long windings and contortions of the ileum. Ileum actually means contortions or windings, meaning it is going to be the full, like crooked kind of thing. That is why. So this is how we have our three different parts of small intestine. But now, after the small intestine, we are going to reach into your large intestine. Large intestine also divided into three parts. Okay, so let's try to see what are the three parts. So, guys, the first part is going to be where the small intestine meets the large intestine. What is this part called, guys? This part we call this thing as cecum. This is known as the cecum region. And guys, in this cecum region, you are going to see the most famous worm-like structure out over here. And what is this worm-like structure, guys? This is vermiform appendix. Yes, very nice. So this is going to be our vermiform vermiform appendix. Now remember this vermiform appendix, this is a vestigial organ. It is no longer used by your body. Okay, earlier we used to use it to break down cellulose, but now we have reduced our dependence on cellulose. So slowly, with evolution, this has stopped functioning. Okay, but now guys, we have this cecum region. Now this cecum is going to act as a blind pouch, meaning anything that enters into the cecum has to enter into your colon or the large intestine. So how is the large intestine? Just give me a moment. Let me just draw the large intestine, guys. Okay, so now you are going to say that, oh, the large intestine is going to be like this. Now, guys, the large intestine is going to be roughly 1.5 to 2 meters. Just a moment, just a moment, guys. Hello. Sorry. Okay, chalo. So guys, now what happens is you are going to see that this large intestine, it is going to be just your 2 meters, like, roughly around 1.5 to 2 meters. Okay. So the question arises, like, why are we going to call this as the large intestine and why not this one as the large intestine? Guys, remember, the name large intestine and small intestine is not given on the basis of their length. It is given on the basis of their diameter. So if you look at the diameter of the small intestine, the bore size is going to be very small. Whereas here, the bore size is going to be more. That is why large intestine and small intestine. Okay. But now, guys, this second region, okay, so we said first part, it is cecum. Second region, this entire tube-like structure, this is called as your colon. Okay, so this is actually called as your colon. Okay. But now there are three types of colon, guys. Okay. See, if you look at this thing, it is the one which is going to be moving up. So this is called as ascending colon. This one, it is going to be moving towards the sides like this. This is transverse colon. And the last one, guys, this is going to be moving in the downward direction. This is going to be descending colon. So always remember, colon is further divided into three parts: ascending colon, transverse colon, and descending colon. Okay, and now after the descending colon, now guys, what is going to happen? You are going to see that all the undigested food or whatever that is there, this is slowly going to come, and it is going to be kept, or it is going to be stored in this pouch. What is this pouch, guys? This pouch is nothing but, we call this thing as a rectum. Yes. Okay, so this is going to be our rectum. Okay, and now from this rectum, guys, what are you going to see? When this pouch is going to be completely filled, immediately this is going to send signals to your brain. From the brain, the signals are going to go to your spinal cord. From the spinal cord, now you're going to get signals to the anus. And then the anus, the sphincter, which is going to be present on the anus, it is going to open up, and this starts squeezing, and all the unwanted material, this is going to be given out. Okay, so finally, guys, we are going to have the anus out over here, and this anus, I just said, this is going to be guarded by a sphincter. Sphincter is nothing but a ring of muscles. Okay, and that sphincter, we call this thing as your anal sphincter. That's it. That is what we need to know with your entire digestive system, guys. Just have a look at this. Just see if everybody is okay with this. Okay, and then I'll just put down your large intestine. So how is that going to be? I will just put it down. Okay, so once again, guys, I'm just putting it out over here. So when we talk about your large intestine, this is divided into three parts. So first part, we have your cecum. Second part, we have your colon. And third part, this is a rectum. Once again, colon, this is divided into three parts. So we have your ascending colon, which is going to be moving up. Second one, it is going to be transverse colon. It is going to be moving sideways. And the third one, descending colon, which is going to be moving in the downward direction. Okay, so everybody okay with this thing? Just guys have a look, see if everybody is all right. Then we can move ahead with the next part.
Okay, so there's a question which is like, what is sigmoid colon? Now, when we talk about this colon region, guys, the colon is basically a little in this S-shaped structure. That S-shaped structure is called as your sigmoid colon. Okay, chalo, is everybody okay with this thing? Fine, everyone. Let's move ahead. Guys, hello, hello, hello. Yeah. Okay, sure. So now, guys, what we need to do is we need to go into the details of this thing, and we need to see, like, how is every part working? What is the importance of all of these? Okay, so the first thing we're going to start off today is with what are your lips, how is the tongue, and a little bit about your teeth. Okay, so first thing, guys, once again, when we talk about the face, okay, so we said we are going to have our face something like this, and we are going to have our lips. So we said, okay, chalo, we are going to have lips. Okay, but now, guys, how many lips are we going to have? We are going to have two lips, and we are going to have the upper and the lower one. Okay, the upper and the lower. Second thing we need to know is both of them, they are going to be movable. Both are movable. Okay. Okay. Third thing, guys. But now, what is the actual job of these lips? Now, why are we having them in the first place? So, first thing is, guys, we are going to have them so that they can cover the mouth. Okay, because what is going to happen is at the time when you are going to be like having food, okay, just imagine you are having food and all that food is like splurging out like pop, 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 pop. It wouldn't look really good, right? So in order to keep the food in the mouth cavity or the buccal cavity, we need to cover the mouth. That job is done by your lips. Okay, but now after this, guys, what is the next thing? The next thing is we are going to use our lips for sipping your tea, or we are going to use it for sucking through a straw. Okay, or we are also going to use it for speaking. Okay, and finally, guys, we are going to use them to like give us a sensation of what? Sensation of your hot, cold, pain, pressure. All these things all these things they are now going to be determined by your lips. So for all these purposes we are going to have lips, guys. Okay, but now the next thing that we have is our tongue. Okay, so let's try to see. So on the inside, guys, we said we have tongue, but what is this tongue responsible for? Yes, so let's see. The first thing, the tongue, this is going to help us in speaking. Second, this is going to help us in giving us the taste. Okay. Third thing, guys, your tongue, it is the one which is going to mix the food with the saliva. So mixes food with saliva. And now because of this, what is going to happen, guys? You are going to convert the ball of, you're going to convert the food into a ball. And that ball is called as the bolus, which can be easily swallowed. Okay. And finally, guys, along with this, sometimes, if you are into eating non-veg and all, sometimes you feel that, the fibers of chicken and all, or the meat, they are stuck in between your teeth. So what do you do? With the help of your tongue, you are going to try to remove it out. That is the next thing. So to remove food particles. That is it. Okay, so this is the job of the tongue. But guys, now we are going to see the tongue. So this is your tongue papillae. Okay, papilla or papillae, meaning it is the tongue basically. And on this tongue, guys, in order to detect your different taste, you are going to have small ovoid bodies like this. Now, what are these ovoid bodies? Can anybody tell me, guys, quickly? Anyone? Yes, very nice, Kanaka. Very nice, Zoe. These are nothing but these are going to be our taste buds. Okay, and these taste buds, you're going to see that they are going to be arranged in any random pattern kind of thing. Okay, there is no such specific pattern. But now these taste buds, they are going to give you different tastes. So what are we going to see, guys? We are going to see that at the back side of the tongue, we have sensors which are going to detect bitter taste. This is going to be at the back side. But now you are going to see at the sides, okay, at the left side and at the right side, okay, on both the sides, guys. In this entire region, this is going to be for sour and salty. Okay, so this entire region, this is going to be sour and salty. And now right in the front, okay, right in the front, guys, we have this entire region which is going to be for sweet taste. So guys, in all, how many tastes are we going to have? We are having 4 tastes. But guys, do you know there are some other taste also? Like, anybody knows any other taste? Anybody? Guys, does anybody know any other taste? Pungent. Pungent is somewhere on the sour side. Spicy. Yes, Zui is saying spicy. Guys, remember, this is a common misconception. We always think that spicy is a taste. No, 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 guys. Spicy is not a taste. Spicy means it is irritation of your taste buds, irritation of the tongue. That is actually spicy. So spicy is not taste. But guys, there is one more taste which is there. And I don't know whether you have heard of this thing, but we call this thing as savory. Or we also call this thing as umami. Savory or umami. Now, just to give you an idea, what is this taste that we are talking about? Guys, this savory taste, basically, it leaves a very rich feeling on your tongue. So for example, guys, let's imagine you are having butter chicken. Okay, and now after you have had this butter chicken, even after having the food and all, you have this nice taste lingering in your mouth, that nice creamy taste. That taste is nothing but your savory. Okay, for those guys who are going to be like vegetarians, so after you have this paneer makhan wala, okay, after you have that, you feel like really nice, like the tongue is like coated with butter and all that stuff. Okay, that feeling is umami. Or for example, let's say you are having pav bhaji with extra butter, and after you have that extra butter and that pav bhaji, it gives you a nice feeling in your mouth. Once again, that rich feeling is nothing but umami. Okay, everybody all right with this thing? So this is what we need to know with regards to your tongue. Fine. But now let's try to move ahead. After your tongue, guys, what are we going to see inside your mouth? Inside your mouth, we are going to have teeth. Okay, chalo. So let's try to see how are your teeth and what are they going to be like. So first of all, guys, why do we have teeth? Okay, we are going to have teeth for chewing. Okay, right? So to chew your food. So it can be your chewing, it can be biting, chewing, biting, it can be cutting, chewing, biting, cutting, crushing, grinding. Okay, crushing, grinding the food, etc. Okay, etc. But apart from this, guys, what else are these teeth going to help in? Can anybody tell me? Anyone? Anyone? Teeth are also going to be useful for doing something else also. Yes, Rishik? Absolutely right. Kanaka has given me the exact answer. This is also going to help in giving the face structure. Okay, so basically what happens is this is for your facial beauty. Okay, so we just say this is going to be for your facial beauty. And the next important thing, guys, you are going to require your teeth for speaking. Guys, if you have grandparents, who use dentures, okay, if they remove the denture and they start speaking, guys, they are ineligible. Okay, so because why, illegible, sorry, illegible. Why? Because you cannot hear them properly, like speak, because They speak in their mouth only. Their entire voice also changes. That is because of the teeth, absence of teeth. Okay, so guys, this is what we first need to know about your teeth. But guys, in your mouth, in your jaw, we need to find out what are the different types of teeth present. So let's try to see this. Sorry, sorry. Okay, so let's imagine this is your entire jawline. Okay, now let's imagine I have taken only the upper jaw and I'm showing only the upper jaw to you guys. We will see what are the different kinds of teeth present first. So, guys, right on the front side, okay, right on the front side of the jaw, you are going to see four teeth. Okay, 1 minute. You are going to see four teeth which are going to be flat and which are going to be a little on the broader side, guys. Okay, they are going to be a little flat and they are going to be broader. What are these teeth called which are going to be in front? These are known as incisors. Okay, these are known as incisors. But guys, after the incisors, okay, at the sides, we are going to say, let's say you are a perfect carnivore. Okay, so you are going to say these pointed teeth. Now, what are these pointed teeth? These are nothing but your canines. Okay, so the second one, we are going to have canines. So we have first incisors, then we have canines. But guys, after this, we are going to say two of them. Okay, so these two of them, guys, they are going to be as if there are two hill-like structures present inside of them. We call them as your premolars. Okay, so how is it? You will see that these teeth, they will be something of this sort. Just try to check behind the canine, guys. With the help of your tongue, you will see something like this. Okay, behind the canine you are going to have a situation like this, guys. Okay, so these are nothing but these are going to be our premolars. Okay, and now after the premolars, guys, at the back side, at the end, you are going to see even flatter structures. Okay, there are going to be these flat ones, guys. Okay, these flat ones, they are going to be three in number. But how it is three in number, guys? See, the original ones, they are going to be two in number, and the third one, they are going to come up only and only when you are an adult. Okay, only and only when you are an adult, guys. Okay, and these are nothing but your wisdom teeth. However, all the three out over here, these are now going to be known as your molars. So we have your premolars, and finally we are going to have molars. And guys, like I said, these last molars, these are nothing but your wisdom teeth. Okay, so this is wisdom teeth, this is also your wisdom teeth. Okay, so everybody okay with how this is going to be like, guys? Okay. Okay, but now the next thing that we are going to see is, guys, we have to see what are all these teeth they are going to be like, and what is their function. Okay, so that is what we'll have to see. Okay, sure. So first of all, guys, we are going to have these incisors. Okay, so let's try to see how are these incisors really going to be like. So, like I said, guys, see, these incisors, they are going to be really broad and they are going to be flat kind of a thing. Now, always remember, whenever we talk about a tooth is always going to show three parts. Okay. For the time being, I'm showing you only two parts, and later on, when we go into the details of it, we'll see three parts. Okay. So here you're going to see we have the upper part, which is crown, and below this, we are going to have something to hold it into position. So you are going to see that, we have fangs, or we have this root. Okay, these are known as roots or fangs. Okay, so your incisors from the front view, it is going to look like this, and from the side views, guys, it looks chisel shaped. Chisel shaped meaning what? You are going to see that, it has a little, not like a sharp point, but it has a little tip like this. Okay, now why does it happen this way? Let's just try to see. And what is your chisel? Let's try to understand. So guys, if you have ever seen a carpenter work, okay, you will see that this carpenter has this something of this sort, like this. Okay, it is something of this sort. Like from the front view, it is going to appear like this only, like this, and from the side views, it appears like this. Okay, and now here you are going to see that, it has something like, a wooden handle at the back. Okay, and now this person, he is going to hammer this thing. Okay, the carpenter keeps on hammering this, and now the moment he hammers, what happens is you are going to see shavings of wood coming out like this. Have you ever seen it this way, guys? Like this, guys, this is nothing but your chisel. Okay, so this chisel, basically, guys, this is the one which is going to remove the shavings of your wood. And your teeth, that is the incisors, it looks exactly like that. It has a little tip onto the, the top portion. Like if you see, you will feel, the tooth is something like this, and then has a nice, not like pointed edge kind of thing, but a nice curvy kind of a thing. Just try to check. Okay, so that is going to be your the chisel shape, basically. Okay, but now let's try to move ahead and let's try to see. So guys, what do we need to know about the incisors? Okay, so first of all, this, guys, we are going to see that this is going to be chisel shaped. Okay, second thing, guys, this is the one which is going to be used for biting and cutting. Guys, just think of Bugs Bunny while he is having that, the carrot. What is he going to do? He's going to use his front two teeth, right? And it goes right? What is that? That is for your biting and cutting. Okay. Okay. So now what is going to happen is, guys, always remember, whenever we talk about any kind of this thing, the root number is very important. So here they are going to have only and only one root. Okay, fine. Chalo, let's try to see the second one. We are going to have canines. Now how are the canines going to be, guys? The canines, they are going to be like a nice and pointed kind of thing. Okay, now over a period of time they become blunt with excessive use and all, they become blunt. But then once again, guys, how many fangs are we going to have out over here? You are once again going to have only one fang. Okay, only one fang. So, okay. But now let's try to see. When we talk about canines, now how is this going to be? Canines, they are going to be like really really nice pointed, and they are going to be sharp. Okay, fine. Why do we use them, guys? We are going to use them to tear the food, so tearing flesh, or we are also going to use them for holding our food. Okay, so tearing food, holding food, that is the job of this thing. And finally, how many roots? We are only going to use one root out over here. Okay, fine. Chalo. Next one, we are going to have premolars. Now, like I said, guys, these are going to have these two hill-like structures, right? So let's see. You are going to see one hill-like structure like this. This is the second hill-like structure. So they appear like this. But now, how many roots are we talking about? Guys, here you are going to have two roots like this. You are going to have nice two roots. Okay, so it is going to be like this. So guys, what do we call this thing? See, this thing, this each hill-like structure, guys, this is actually called as a cusp. Okay, so this is a cusp. Because we are going to have two cusps, we also call this teeth as bicuspid. Okay, remember, very, very important. Two cusps. So we also call this thing as bicuspid. What is this? This is nothing but it is going to show us two hilly regions. Two hilly projections. And now, why are we going to use this thing, guys? We are going to use this thing for crushing and grinding. Okay, however, these are the ones who are going to convert the food into almost a powder kind of a material. Okay, but now we have the molars. The molars are going to convert the food into a complete pasty material. Okay, it is that, but when we'll talk about it out over there, guys. And finally, how many roots are we seeing out over here? We are going to see two roots. That's it. That is what we need to know about your premolars. And finally, guys, we are going to have our molars. So let's try to see how are our molars. Now, guys, remember the upper molars, they are going to be a little different, and the lower molars are going to be a little different. See, first of all, I said these are going to be more on the flatter side. Okay, they are going to be huge. They are going to be on the flatter side. They have the crevices inside of it. But now, when we talk about the molars, guys, you are going to see that we have in the upper one, we have actually three roots. We have three roots like this holding it in position, guys. Okay, so something of this one. Okay, so these are your upper molars. Okay, and same way, guys, we have your lower molars as well, but lower molars, they are going to be only with two roots. And that is why, guys, this is one of the most famous questions of your examiner. Like, upper molar has how many roots and lower molar has how many roots. Okay, so just keep this thing in mind. Very, very important question from the neat point of view. Otherwise you'll just get confused who is who. Okay, so these are the lower ones. They're going to have two roots. Okay, but now, guys, what happens? Why do we use these molars? Guys, these molars, these are actually our principal crushers and grinders, because they are the ones who are going to convert the food into a pasty material, a completely pasty material, so that it can be converted into a bolus. And finally, guys, the last thing is the last molars. We said that these are going to be your wisdom teeth. They are only going to come when you are an adult. okay, arise during adulthood. It can be anywhere after your 18 years of age. So this is what we need to know with regards to your entire jaw, guys. And these are the different kinds of teeth that we will see in your jaw. Everybody okay with this thing, guys? Sure, no problem. Okay. So guys, once again, what we will do is we'll stop over here for the day. Next time when we come back, we will move ahead with the structure. We have to talk about the structure or the TS of the teeth. So that we will do it, and then after that we'll talk about some other organs as well. Okay. So guys, once again, we'll stop over here for the day, and I'll see you in the next class. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye. Thanks.